Hey folks, this is Dawn, and I'm the founder of MyCashless Class. We create convenience for busy parents when it comes to managing their child's day-to-day school transactions by giving them a digital solution that can help and that they can use from anywhere whilst on the go, right from the comfort of their phone or computer. But that's not all. We also help those parents who want to give their children an advantage in life by ensuring that their children have a positive mindset around managing money digitally. Why? Because we know that children who are comfortable when it comes to managing their money digitally are more likely to be open to opportunities for making money digitally, and therefore they are more inclined to access all the abundant opportunities that exist globally in today's digital world and not just where they are locally. So what do I mean? Okay, let's have a conversation. I'm going to throw out some questions and I want you to think about what answer you feel kind of aligns with your mindset. Who is making all the money that they want to make? And I'm not talking about enough money to pay the bills or get by. I'm talking about all the money that they want to make. Okay, you've answered that. Next question. Who knows of someone who is very, very qualified and who cannot get a job? They have degrees, maybe they have more than one degree. They have certificates, they have skills, and they just cannot get a job. All right. You've answered that. Who believes that it is easier now, in the year of our Lord 2025, to get a job and make all the money that you want than back when you were coming up, or back when your parents were coming up, or even further back than that? Is it easier now to get a job that pays you what you need, or harder? All right. Maybe some of you said harder. Next question. Who believes that in order to make more money, they will likely have to either have a job plus a side hustle using some of their God-given skills or talents, or perhaps even to fully work for themselves in order to make more money? Okay, stay with me. We're connecting the dots. Next question. Do you think you could make more or less money if you could reach more people with your skills and talents? And as a follow-up question, do you think you can reach more or less people if you are more comfortable or less comfortable using digital platforms? All right, hold that answer in your head. And the last question, who do you think is better at using digital platforms to reach more people so that they can make more money using their talents and skills? Is it someone who is digitally comfortable or someone who is not digitally comfortable? Okay, great. So by now you kind of see where I'm going with this. What we have found is this. People who are digitally comfortable have an advantage over those who are not. And when it comes to managing their money, people who are digitally comfortable are more likely to be open to opportunities to make money, and we're assuming safely and legally, we're not talking about anything illegal, are likely to be more open to making money digitally. And people who are more open to the abundant opportunities that unfold in the digital space when it comes to making money are more likely to have an entrepreneurial vision when it comes to offering their talents and skills globally, thereby allowing them to make more money and leading to a more abundant life. So it's not hard maths. The difference between those who have this advantage and those who don't, it comes down to one thing: mindset. And that's why I go back to why I was saying that what we do at My Cashless Class, in addition to giving parents the convenience and flexibility around managing their children's day-to-day school transactions, is to help them, give them that advantage in life of a positive mindset when it comes to managing money digitally. So maybe there's some of you who are skeptical, right? And as parents, we all have to be, right? All I'm saying is children who are digitally comfortable have an advantage in life because they have what I like to call the 3 C's, okay? They can comprehend, they are capable, and they are comfortable. So they can comprehend how digital transactions work because you have conversations with them, and using their real life situation in school, in the safety of the school environment, you can use those conversations to help them comprehend how digital transactions work. Once they understand that this is not magic, it is much harder to fool them in the real world. Okay. Then second C, they're capable of using digital transactions. They've been exposed to it, they have experience with it, now they've done it. And you know what they say, the best way to teach is to do. And of course, the last C, doing the thing makes them comfortable. So now they are comfortable when it comes to digital transactions. So hopefully, I've drawn a line between being digitally comfortable and having this advantage that most of us want to give our children and probably even ourselves, and being exposed to digital solutions that can drive that comfort. Now, there are those who will say there are too many scams, too much danger in the digital world, better to play it safe. All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever picked up the newspaper and seen an article about a horrible accident on the highway where someone tragically lost their life? Or worse yet, have you ever been driving by or seen someone who tragically lost their life on a highway? Right? I'm sure we've either read an article or worse yet, seen someone who has lost their life tragically on the highway. How long after that did it take you to use the highway again? What do I mean? How long after reading that article about someone losing their life tragically on the highway, or worse yet, driving by and seeing that someone has tragically lost their life on the highway, how long after that did you use the highway? I can almost guarantee that it was at a minimum, hours, if you weren't actually still on the highway after you saw or heard of the accident, or at maximum a day before you were back on the highway. Maybe you have to go to work, maybe your children have to go to school, maybe you had to get home, but I am sure you were back on the highway. So hearing of, or worse yet, seeing something horrible happen on the black carpet did not stop you from using highways. You take precautions, you don't drive fast, you make sure your tires are good, maybe you make sure and talk to your children about drinking and driving safely on the highway, not going with people who drink and drive, whatever it is. You teach them about how to be safe on the highway, and you yourself take those precautions to be safe on the highway. So let me ask you this. Why is the digital highway any different? Why is it any different? In fact, given the whole heap of things that can happen on the digital highway, do you think you should be preparing your children more or less? Do you think you should be talking more about how to be safe on the digital highway earlier or later? There are full-grown adults who fall prey to the dangers on the digital highway. So what does that leave for our children? Advantage in life comes down to those who can comprehend, who are capable, and who are comfortable. And I believe that we are robbing our children of the opportunity to have an advantage when we don't have these kind of conversations. You are actually stacking the deck against them. You are letting others who expose their children and who give their children certain experiences have an advantage over your children. And I'll tell you one last thing. You don't even have to use My Cashless Class to give your children that advantage. All you need to do is talk about how it works. By talking to them about how digital transactions work, how it drives convenience, and giving them that ability to comprehend what digital transactions can do, whilst they may not yet be capable because they haven't actually used it, and whilst they may not yet be comfortable because they haven't built up that experience, at least, at the very, very, very least, they'll understand, they'll comprehend, and that will help make them safer and hopefully at least more curious when the opportunities arise that they could take advantage of rather than them being fearful. So if you get an opportunity to check us out at www.mycashlessclass.com, please do, and have those conversations with your children, because we are committed to making school transactions as smart as you are and as smart as you want them to be. Thanks so much for listening.